Well, tonight I'm really excited to introduce someone that I'm a big fan of. I've been following her career for a long time. She appeared on our show. We used to have a little show back in the day called IMTV, maybe if you will remember. And she was on that show, and I've been following, like I said, her career all along. I love her music. Please help me and welcome Rhoneil. Rhoneil. Thanks for joining me. Have a seat.
Hello.
Hello. Thanks for coming all the way from the valley. Rhoneil came from the valley tonight. No, we really appreciate it. And like I said, I am a big fan. And your
thank you. I'm a big fan.
Aww. Your music is on continual play at our house all the time. My wife and I listen to you constantly. We love it. So tell me a little bit of your history. How did you start playing music?
Well, I really wanted to sing all my life, but I also didn't really feel like that was a possibility for me. So I just kind of liked to sing with the radio and stuff like that.
Nice.
And then when I moved to Montreal, after a few years, I decided to like take it up a notch and start going to the karaoke bars.
Oh yeah, it's where everyone gets their feet wet, right? Yeah.
And yeah, I lived in the gay village, and they had the most amazing karaoke bars. Like the one I like to go to had like a big stage and a curtain and a spotlight and 2 levels for people to watch you.
Wow.
So I would go there like a few times a week. And
get braver and braver. Is that how it worked?
Yeah, well, I was pretty drunk the whole time.
Pop star.
But that, helped me get braver.
Courage. Yeah.
And eventually, some people needed a singer for their band, and they watched me do my karaoke thing and decided I had the chops. So I started singing in more of like an art rock band and got to go on like a bunch of sweet tours and like record some records. And that was when I started to take it more seriously.
Okay.
And write my own music.
Okay. And you found your way to Nelson at some point then? This was all in Montreal, or did
that
this happen?
was all in Montreal,
Okay, yeah.
I moved to Nelson when, I guess it was 6 years ago now.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And that was kind of by accident.
As we all do, as we said.
I was supposed to come here for like 3 weeks for a program for university, and then I ended up staying for 6 years.
Makes sense. It's hard to get out once you get in. Yeah.
It's true.
It's true, right?
It's quite the pull.
And you've been writing music here with different groups of people?
Yeah, that was a big part of what kept me here. I recorded my first solo record in the valley, the Slocan Valley, over a winter in a cabin with a sound engineer, and it was just such a life-changing, magical experience. I could really feel the landscape and the spirits of the land really just singing through us, through the record. And I got hooked and have since made 2 more records in the Slocan Valley in a cabin in the winter. So I guess that's kind of my thing now.
That's the artist's dream. That is the true artist's dream, isn't it?
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You have this concept with your new album, Writing to the Lunar Cycles. And I'm really interested in that, and I think you should share that with everyone, the process that took you to that.
Yeah, the newest album, which I'm going to be releasing at the beginning of June, was written over the course of 13 lunar cycles, and I did 1 song per cycle, and then at the end of the lunar calendar I had a whole album, which I'll be touring throughout the Kootenays and projecting some films that were done of the landscape, the changing landscape throughout those 13 lunar cycles. So in that process, it was a really interesting experiment in being like a little bit more hands-off. Like it doesn't take me that long to write a song, so having like an entire 29.5 days and just 1 song to write was more an exercise in being receptive than it was being productive. I spent a lot of time just being completely still and just listening to myself, but also listening to the landscape and listening to the story it wanted to tell through me, through the tools I had available. So I feel like I just tapped into a new way to approach the creative process throughout the past year and a little bit.
Why did you decide to take that road? Like, what inspired you to choose the lunar cycles?
Well, I think they kind of chose me because I have sort of like throughout my life this pattern has emerged when something needs to change. I end up getting like really ill. I think Dr. Ryan might have things to say about that.
Yeah, he may do some cupping on you.
So yeah, I was at a place in my life before I started writing this album where a lot of things were out of alignment, and I was feeling like really run down, like I couldn't keep up, like there was never enough time, there was never enough money, I was never doing the right thing, and it was just all kind of piling up on me, and I got really sick. And when I started to get sick, I had to slow down, and I had to do a lot of healthy things for myself, and I ended up hiking a lot and meditating a lot. And one of the things that came out of a meditation and a hike was this approach, this idea to do this album, and it was kind of like an approach to healing. Like in doing this album, I would end up realigning myself with my own rhythm by aligning with the rhythm of the lunar cycles and the earth.
Well, that's really exciting. So what you're saying to us is that this album is not only the music that you make, but a journey, a personal journey.
Oh yeah, big time. It's changed a lot of like the ways I see the world and myself, and I just feel very lucky to have been able to go through this process.
Amazing. So what instruments are you using? You're playing alone. This album is all you?
Mostly. I have a friend that helped on a few tracks. We collaborated for, I think, 3 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I have another friend. The first friend his name is Rob, and he performs under DJ Sugar Bear, or the Sugar Bear, and also Divination Strategy is his other thing. And then the other person that might be helping with some of it is Yan Zombie.
Oh, of course.
Doing some beats.
Nice. And so when does this album come out?
June 1st.
We'll be looking forward to it.
Okay.
And tonight you're going to play a song from it?
I'm going to, yes.
Which song can we expect to hear?
It's called Your Light, and it's going to be the first track on the album as well as the last track.
Amazing. Okay. It's a 2-part thing.
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's a cycle, so it like repeats itself at the end.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Give it up for Rhoneil. That was incredible. Thank you so much, Rhoneil. So tell the people again where they can find you.
At my website, invisiblefriends.ca.
Let's hear it for Rhoneil.